Hey guys, happy Thursday. It's about 2:15 on Thursday afternoon, and I had a great coffee this morning with Tedra, and she and I were talking about goal setting, and I realized that at our meeting on Monday, I kind of showed you my projections, and I told you there was a science behind it, and realized that I didn't really have a good way to demonstrate that. So I figured I'd make a spreadsheet that you guys can use and dump your own numbers into, or use it to kind of see where our team has been for the past 4 years and how we've grown. So I'll walk you through it first. And the formulas are already set up, so you can dump your own numbers in, and you can also click on them to kind of see what the formula was to set it up. I wanted to make sure you guys know that you can always download the previous year's historical metrics or your business summary off the COO, and you can export it into an Excel spreadsheet. I recommend doing that and then just saving it somewhere, like if you have a Dropbox folder, so that you have every year to kind of go back and look at, and that way you can better track and see where your business has been and where it's going to. And that way when you're making goals, you can make SMART goals and you can set them appropriately. So you can see what your average growth rate is and kind of see where you are this year and what your growth rate, what percentage of that would be like next year's. So hopefully this will better help explain it. I apologize in advance if this just further confuses you. But I think it's a little bit more, I hate to say the word educated, but it's going to help you make an educated guess of where your business is going to go instead of picking just an arbitrary number out of the sky. So instead of you going from $10,000 a year to 20,000 million to $1 billion, we can at least have a steady projection. And then obviously if you knock it out of the park, that's just freaking awesome. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys on the spreadsheet that I made up, and I'll try to walk you through it and show you what I'm talking about. So we are going to pull up Excel, and I'm going to share this on my team page with you guys after the fact so that you can save it onto your computers and do it kind of on your own. Okay, where is that? Where was it? Oh, there it is. Okay, awesome. You guys know I have like 17,000 tabs open all the time. My husband makes so much fun of me. Okay, so this is a 3-page Excel spreadsheet. This first page, where down here at the bottom, it says group totals by year. This is just going to give you a snapshot. We'll break it down by month later on, so that way you can set a monthly goal, but this will kind of help you see where we've been. So this is not my personal numbers. This has been my group. So all 4 of my downlines since I got started in 2011. So you can see that my first year group sales were $24,094. And the next year it was $67,516.50. So the difference of that was $43,000 and some change. So the percentage of growth from 2012 to 2011, or from 2011 to 2012, was 180%. So that's not too shabby. So when I click on this, you will see up here the formula that's already in that box. So don't move that box. And I'll highlight these and let you know which ones that you can edit and plug your own numbers into. This difference box right here, these are already projected and set too. So these formulas are already in. And that goes all the way down. So these are the numbers that you'll be able to manipulate. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight these and make them green so you know that you can manipulate those. And let's go ahead and make them bold, just because we can, because green stands for money. Okay, so you'll see in 2013, we jumped up to 116, almost 117,000, which was a 73% growth rate from 2013. I'm not trying to go all the way back to 2011, just from year to year. 2014 was 137, almost 138 for an 18% growth rate. So we're lowering on the growth rate a little bit year after year, but that's okay. And that's honestly kind of expected, because obviously when I first got started, I didn't have a huge team. So the growth from year after year was going to be huge. But then I started having a team, and as everyone kind of chimed in, It's going to be great. 2015, our projected annual sales this year, we're still working off that 165 number, which would be a difference of $27,000, which would be a 20% growth rate. Now, 2016 projected, and that's why they're highlighted, is these are just projected numbers right now. We're looking to hit 250. I know this is a lofty goal, but I believe we can do it. So down here, you say on the average line that we, for these 5 years, we'll have had an average of almost 69% growth year after year. So that's including this crazy 180 and these projected ones. If I took out these numbers, it wouldn't really behoove me. I'll put those back in. So we'll just close these out and change that to 3. And you'll see that we've been working at a 90% growth rate for the past 3 years, not including this year. So this is that 90, almost 90 and a half. That's what I used to kind of calculate what I wanted this year's goal to be. So it says it would be an average of 90%, which would be almost double from 137. So that would have been like 275. So that would be completely double. But I knew that that wasn't completely accurate. So keep that in mind. Okay, and then over here I put new team members. So this is not including my recruiting, this is including my team building. So my first line, when you guys recruit, that's what this is. So the first year I had one person on my downline who recruited someone. The second year I had one person on my first downline. 2013, 3 people on my first downline. Or 3 people added to my first downline. So that's including, we're just adding to it. And then in 2014, we had 8. So the difference per year, again, these formulas are already set up. And there's not really a good way to pull this from the COO. This is something you're just going to have to look at or go back to your emails and see when people were added, which months they were added, all that kind of fun stuff. So that's a little bit more difficult to pull, but at least helps you track. So you can see that we're tracking at about 100% growth rate year after year. So we should be doubling new team members. And you can see that that number doesn't always necessarily double because we do have a lot of people rolling off. So there's no way for us to, unless everybody stays active every single month, to completely double our numbers, because we're always going to have people rolling on, rolling off, staying stagnant. So I'm just excited when we add new people because I know it's going to help make up the difference when we lose people. So this year we're projected to add 14 new team members to my second and third and fourth downlines for a difference of 6 people over last year for 75% growth rate, and then projected next year is to add 25 to my second, third, and fourth downlines for a difference of 11. So right now we're tracking at that 100%, but if we take these off, then this will go back down. We want to make sure we're doing an accurate average to 122% growth rate year after year. So that's not too shabby, right? That's better than most. I'm going to go ahead and put all those back just for safekeeping so you can see them. The next page we're taking you to is this second page where it says group sales by month. And let's scroll all the way over here. So each year has its own little area. You can see 2011, 12, 13, 14, etc. Every month is broken out over here on the left-hand side for a total yearly sales down here, total percentage of sales, and then the yearly sales is up here too. You can see that this actually just rounded up here just because dollars and cents just round up. I don't know why that one rounded up and that one didn't. Especially because that's $1 off. I'll have to go back and investigate that. You know, when I copied a lot of this stuff over, it may not have it didn't read correctly, but that's okay. So you can see in 2011, and we're not actually using these percentages for anything. And this is, again, group sales. It's including my sales, but not solely my sales. So as far as average goes, we're not really including 2011 since that was the first year and that doesn't have accurate data. So if we look at, for the year, we had 24, 67, 117, 138. Now, over here, this is the one that I love this column, because this column at least tells me for these past 3 years, so 2014, 2013, and 2012, what my average sale, like what the percentage of sales were per month. So if I'm using this as the benchmark, and I'll show you how all these are formulated too. Let me go ahead and break that all out. So I can, when I'm closing out the end of each month and I look on my business details, I can dump in my numbers for that month. So I'm just going to type those in to this box under the sales column. This is automatically formulated, this percentage column is automatically formulated to figure out what percentage this almost $11,000 is of this almost 138. So this is where you're going to kind of put your projected goal until you actually start getting real numbers, and then this is going to tally up your real numbers at the bottom. So again, this is always going to be projected until you close out the year on top, and this is going to be your actual numbers. Your percentages are basing off your projected numbers, not your real numbers. At the end of the year, when you've closed out December, that's when you can put the actual number in. All these percentages will change, and this bottom one should still always add up to 100% because there's only 100% available to choose from. All right, so this figures out the average percentage of the percentage, because that's not redundant at all. So over the past 3 years, January, 8 here, and I'll show you how to do that. Oh, okay. It says that, I don't know if you guys can see my calculator, so we'll just close that out. So this is formulated to add F4, which is 9, plus I4, which is 7, plus L4, which is 8, add them all together and divided by 3 because we're only calculating those 3 numbers. So the average is 8. So 9 plus 7 is 16, plus 8 is 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So that's just basic math. And then down here, same thing. So 8 plus 12 is 20, plus 10 is 30, divided by 3 is 10. Same with this one, 9, 13, 8, 10%. So all the way down, and you can see our lowest months are typically October, and then a little bit in the summer. Low is totally fine because it's just a percentage, it's just a numbers game. So then when I'm looking at 2015, and let me scooch this over so we can look at these, I'm basing it off this average. So when I'm projecting it, I'm putting in the 8% on this column, all right? So this is the number that I'm typing in. I'm doing 8, 10, 10, and I'm literally just going off this column over here on the left, typing in all those same numbers. You can see there's a little bit of difference here because I was hoping that our October numbers would be up this year, figuring December might be a lower percentage. Our goal at the beginning of the year was 180,000. So when I put the percentage numbers in this column, these would automatically tally. So when you're projecting 2016, you can just move this column to wherever you want. And again, just or type it in the 2016 column that's already set up for you. Type in the percentage that you want. Now, I would recommend right now, use these numbers. Use these average percentages that I've already calculated for you. Do not recreate the wheel until you have maybe 2 years worth of having a downline so you can track your group sales. But right now, this is going to figure out your personal averages. So on my page, it says group because that's everybody. But for you, this should really be helping you guide what your numbers are. So let's say, we're just going to copy this. We're going to copy it and paste it right here. We're going to make this bigger so we can actually see. All right, we're going to say this is Sally's goals. And say Sally, as a consultant, wants to do 60,000 in sales next year. Using those numbers that are already in there, you can see how everything tabulated, right? Now say she wants to hit board, so it's 75,000. Those numbers change. How cool is that? So that's how you're going to figure it out using these numbers, because these are numbers from you guys. This is all the money that you guys are selling and earning and being amazing at. So if you only want to sell $20,000 worth of retail in a year, this is where it's going to go. All right, you're going to look again at that first quarter being pretty big, and then hopefully in August when we have that new kit sale that, or the new products that always launch, those are pretty good. If you're just literally like, I want to get $100,000 bonus, there's the money that you need to make. Okay, so I'll leave that in here too, so that'll be like fake consultancy. You can just type them in. But you guys are welcome. Once I put this on the team page, you guys are welcome to save this as your own and edit it and keep it on your computer so you can butcher this and do what you want with it. All right, so this is with the adjusted projected sales after realizing that we're probably not going to hit that 180, and that's okay. So this is actual sales numbers. So you can see where that is the calculation, and here's the numbers that I actually dropped in. So you can see the formulas on this change a little bit, and I'll make sure to let you know which columns are editable and which ones don't touch. So I'll type those in later. So these are dropping actual numbers from this year. So this is what we've actually done so far this year. So you can see some things are off, like this is July is supposed to be 8% and it was only 5%. But we've got different percentages along the way that are good. And then these 2 months, because we don't have them closed out yet, this is just a general calculation, something to get us close to 165. You can see we're like $110 short. We'll be fine. We better be fine. All right, so this is where I've dumped, okay. So that's where the formula is on these two, and I just dumped those numbers in based on the previous years, just to make sure we always get to 100 down here. I know this is probably scaring the bejesus out of you. So $250,000 for 2016, and again, this is how it's broken out. So what I challenged each of you guys to do at our team meeting on Monday is to figure out, of the $20,000 that we as a group, we have a goal to sell and move in January, how much of that are you committing to? Are you committing to $2,000? Are you committing to $5,000? Do you have a goal of $10,000? So that's where I'm going to make sure you guys have these monthly numbers. I put them on the beginning or of our agenda, and I'll make sure to include them in the newsletter too. So you see what our sales goals are month after month. I'll keep them on the tracker behind my door and post pictures of them too, so you guys get to see where we're at. But this is how I break it out to see some real numbers. With as many girls that we have on our team, we should easily be hitting $250,000 if we're each doing 2 to 3 parties a month. So it's totally doable. If you're not hitting those party goals, then we can definitely talk about how to get that up and running. Woo! Okay, last page of this spreadsheet before you guys go drink yourself into oblivion because my spreadsheets are crazy, is our team building average per month. Let me go ahead and freeze these panes too so we can scroll over and not lose our things. Okay, cool. So again, we start in 2011, and you can see that we had 1 new team member. And remember, this is my second, third, and fourth downlines. This is not the people that I am recruiting. This is who you guys are recruiting. My recruiting looks really different, but I want to let you guys use this as an average because this is where a lot of you are right now. Because these are your numbers. These are what you guys have historically done. So I wasn't really setting goals at this point. The goals were a little bit different, but these are actual real numbers from history. So you can see that we had 1 new team member in 2011. We had 1 new team member in 2012. We had 3 new team members in 2013 and 8 last year. So again, with this, we're figuring out the average. So over the history of January, we had 0, 0, 0, 1. So we're dividing it again. We're ignoring that one. What? Hold on, this formula is not right. Let me fix that. I'll show you guys how we fix it real quick. Okay, so we go to auto sum, and we are going to select this guy, and this guy, and then because we're only doing 3 entries, we're dividing it by 3, so 4%. And then we just take that all the way down, and boom, now we're at 100. Sorry I didn't get to check that before, but now you know how it happens. So auto sum, hit the crazy button, boom. So you can see that 4% of our recruits have happened in January, while 15% have happened in February. 33 goes in March, but that's also because we've only ever had one person, and that's okay too. Just making sure those numbers are right. So that all adds up to 100. So these are the projected numbers that we were looking at. And again, we dumped the average number in first and had the actual number calculated in the formula. Let's scroll over so we can see all of that. Here, let me put 2012 to 2014 over here so you guys know what that average is pulling from. It's only 3 years, not 4. And what those numbers look like. So we should have added 7 people to the team in March, and we had 3 and none in January. So you can see that our recruiting was super low based on what our goal was at the beginning of the year. What it actually is only about 14 right now. The goal is 14 right now. We're actually at 10. So we have a goal to add 4 more girls onto our team before the end of the year. And with the kit sale that we've got going on now and whatever kit sale we have in December, that really shouldn't be too difficult if you're actually calling your recruits and telling them about the opportunity and reminding them that Valentine's Day is right around the corner, which is always a delight. So when I am thinking about plotting for next year, so let's go ahead, and when you guys are making your own, so Sally's goals, we're going to change this up, and this is something I should have told you guys on the other sheet, but it works for both because it's the same exact formula. So when we want to incorporate this year's numbers in, then we are simply going to add 1 more, and we're going to go with this T column because that's the accurate one. So T5, and then we're going to divide that by 4 because now there's 4 entries in there. So then we're going to calculate that. And over here, we're going to type in those numbers. So if we have a goal of 25 in my 2nd through 4th downlines, we're going to type in 3, 11, 30, 6, 8, 15, 0, 4, 6, 8, 4, 4. 4, 99%. So let's go ahead and let's recruit someone in July this year. There we go. There's 25 people. Did those all change? I wasn't watching them. So how are we doing that? Anyway, that should have changed. Math, get excited. All right, let's take that out. Boop, 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 boop. So that's how we should kind of get our 25 people next year. So you can see that March looks like it's going to be a big month for us because, again, it's by that like 30% area. June looks to be pretty exciting too. We also don't want to forget about all the awesome people that we're going to meet in February over Valentine's Day and then throughout the year. So even though we're adding like 1 person a month to the team for the most part, that's not bad. That's good. We'll take it, right? So Sally, when you are making your goals of who you want to add to the team, and let's say that you have a personal goal of adding 3 new team members because you want to get to senior consultant level, that's supposed to be how it's going to work. Where are those people at? Do you see other people hiding? I only see that 1. How about 10? Let's see. Okay, that's better. So now we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you want to do 4 just to have an added bonus, it looks like these are actually supposed to say 2. So that's gonna, where are those other numbers hiding? I mean, for serious, why is this going up to 6? Are there numbers hiding somewhere that I don't know about? Anyway, you guys can kind of get the idea of where I'm going. I'll try to figure out what this is actually all about. What if we do it this way? Does that, no. This is the beauty of spreadsheets, you guys. So we always want to times it by this goal number and make sure that the numbers are in the right spot. Anyway, so you can use these averages to figure out where your months are that are gonna be awesome. What else do I need to let you guys know about that's totally scary? I don't know. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen and get back to big face Megan. I hope that that was somewhat informative and hopefully a little bit easier for you guys to figure out what your goals are going to be for next year. I'm really excited. I love goal setting. I love, I know it's not supposed to be a competition, but I like competing with myself. I love hitting benchmarks. I love helping you guys hit your benchmarks. So for me, having a goal and being able to like color in my chart, which right there on the back of my door, being able to color that in every single month is really exciting, and it's super fun when the marker goes above the goal line. So I'm really excited to help you guys set goals and to show you where we've been and to help you set smarter goals. And I hope you'll share them with us. So when you get a chance to look at the spreadsheet and type in your own numbers, if you want to recap on our team page what your goals are for the year, and then maybe, well, we'll be talking about this more in our January meeting too, but figuring out what you want to do every single month to hit your big yearly goal and making sure we put that on our yearly thermometer. It's going to be great. And then, of course, we'll see how many parties it's going to take to hit that goal, because that's always the fun challenge too. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for putting up with me and my craziness. And I'm going to stop recording this meeting. And let me know if you have any questions. Love you guys.